right, so this is going to be a 30-minute gentle movement practice that's going to be done on the floor. So get yourself comfortable with any props that you need for lying down, whether that's blankets, blocks, straps, etc. But try to make this sequence not need any props per se, but you can always have them available to give yourself more comfort. Okay, so we're gonna start lying down with our old friend, the windshield wipers. Great practice to do at any time of the day. For some of us, we might like this practice for evening time as well. So knees bent, feet on the floor, taking a couple breaths just to establish our position here on the ground, seeing how we feel. And just letting the breath start to deepen, so longer inhales and exhales. Just noticing what points or parts of the body are in contact with the ground, with the mat. So there's natural places that are arched off the ground, and there are natural places that have weight into the ground. And just noticing those meeting points, and notice if there's a difference on the left and the right. The hands can come to the belly and feel the rise and the fall of the breath. So feel the belly go up into the hands as you breathe in and fall back towards the spine as you breathe out. And we've added movement with this before, where as you're inhaling and filling up into the belly, you slightly arch the back. So my low back starts leaving the ground even more, tipping the pelvis towards the floor, the bottom of the pelvis towards the floor, the tailbone. And then when you exhale and you draw the navel towards the spine with just a little bit more energy or action, you start to tuck the pelvis and press the low back towards the floor. So when you inhale into the belly, it tips, arching at the low back. And when you exhale and draw the navel in, you're tucking and pressing the low back towards the floor. And we'll do this a handful of times. So you can do it as like a bigger muscular movement. But what I'm interested in is feeling that the breath is really what's doing that movement, and the tuck and arch is pretty small, right? There isn't a lot of effort involved here. It's almost like I'm not doing anything except for breathing. And that the breath is actually what's taking the low back into the arch. And the exhale is pressing the low back towards the floor. Let's just try it for a couple more repetitions. You might even get to notice or help just slightly the movement at the head. So when I arch, inhale, the chin drops towards the chest just a little bit. Again, not a lot of muscle action. Exhale, low back towards the ground, the chin lifts a little bit. Inhale, in the arch of the back, the chin comes in, down. Exhale, the press of the back, the chin lifts a little bit. So you start to feel, as you do this, the connection of the sacrum to the cranium, and getting that motion going with just a little bit of help, but mostly coming from the breath, initiating and gliding us through. One movement for pelvis and head, and on the inhale, and tuck as you exhale, slight lift of the chin as you exhale. A few more repetitions. We want to always keep in mind that we can have a very effective change without needing to do a lot, right? Just here, the breath and the motion is coaxing the spine from the pelvis to the head to just move with a sense of flow and gentleness, with a slight bit of muscle activation in the abdomen. And then we'll settle into the center. Okay, here are those windshield wipers. Knees fall right, knees fall left. As you're doing this, I have my feet a little bit wider, like as wide as the mat or so, as they rock right to left. Now this can be a very tiny movement if there's any stress in the low back or the hips. You want to take the movement only to the position that keeps you still feeling comfortable. It doesn't create pain or discomfort as we're moving. For an extra bonus, rotate the head the opposite direction that your knees are going. So when your knees go left, your head goes right, just rotating. If you move with the inhales and the exhales, again, you'll find more fluidity, more spaciousness in the movement, less tension or stress. Okay, and back to the center. So hug the right knee into the chest. You can hold the thigh, you can hold the shin, and then extending the left leg down, pressing out through the heel. This will be our exhales. The inhale is to stretch the arms over the head and reach out through the heels. And the exhale, you draw the other knee in as you press out and down through the lower leg. Inhales, your arms go up and your legs go out. And as you keep going back and forth with this, with your breath, I'll keep adding in some things to think about. Flexing both feet and pressing the legs to the ground in parallel when they're both extended. The exhale draws the knee in. The inhale, you extend the arms and the legs. Changing from side to side. When your arms go over, keep your rib cage on the floor versus a large arch in the rib cage. So not the low back, but we're talking about the ribs. Stay to the ground as you extend your arms. Now it's possible that your arms won't make it all the way to the floor if you're keeping that engaged. That's okay. Okay. So go where the shoulder flexibility is, instead of leaving the rib cage to move the arms. Keep awareness and engagement in the obliques as your arms go over and your legs go out. So my arms will only extend as much as they can when my ribs are on the ground. My elbows are straight, my fingers are stretching. Let's just do a couple more with thinking about the extension of the legs, what's happening in the ribs, and the extension of the arms. So when you've evened that out, go ahead and rebend the legs so the feet are back on the floor. All right, rolling bridges. So as you keep the root of your big toe ball mounts into the floor. A nice way to exaggerate it is to lift the toes and keep pressing from big toe ball mount to pinky toe ball mount so you don't roll out at all. So lifting the toes is going to activate the feet a little bit more and give you a little bit more awareness of the big toe ball mount staying on the ground. Rolling the pelvis up as you breathe in. and down as you breathe out. If you can try it with those toes lifted for these, that will be nice, again, to ground the big toe ball amount as you roll up, breathing in. It creates a good engagement for the whole inner leg line, breathing out as you roll down, and helps you to not create too much tension around the sacrum. Okay, let's do a couple more. Inhaling, rolling the spine up, off the ground. Exhale down. Maybe we add the arms. As you're rolling up, breathing in, the arms straight, go up over the head. As you roll down, the arms come straight, right back down the way they went up. Let's do two more. How about those big toe ball mounts still on the way up especially? Last one. Good. And as you come to rest, let your feet go a little wider, draw your knees in towards each other and hands on the belly. Take a few belly breaths here. So feel it rise and feel it fall into your hands and away from your hands. Count your breath. Inhale, maybe 3 counts. Exhale, 3. Okay. And we're going to flip over onto the belly. So once you're on your belly, stack the hands underneath the forehead and find the windshield wipers in this position. So bend your knees and let your legs fall from right to left. Notice the range of motion in this direction from right to left. Does one side move more than the other? Conscious, even breathing. Okay, and then extending the legs out, straight down. All right. From here, tuck the tail under just a little bit. And you're going to inhale, pick one leg up straight through the knee. And exhale, put it down. Inhale, other side, reach and lift. And put it down. And keep going back and forth, one leg and the other. The front of your pelvis stays on the ground when the leg lifts. Reach with the leg like someone's pulling on your leg. Even it out, right and left. Tuck the tail under. Lift both legs together. Height of the legs doesn't matter. Reach to your knees and feel like someone's pulling on your legs. And breathe as you keep them lifted. Can you feel and count and inhale for 2 counts, exhale for 2. And release the legs down. Coming into Sphinx pose. So when you come up onto the forearms, your elbows are underneath the shoulders, relatively. And the hands, it's okay. You know, you can have them up, you can have them facing each other, you can have them face down, doesn't really matter. Just feeling organized, even from right to left. There's an isometric contraction, and that means you're pulling your elbow towards your body, towards the back of your mat, but they're not actually moving on the mat. You're just pulling back without an actual slide on the mat. And when you pull them back, you move your chest forward. And I just want to keep a wakefulness by stretching all 10 toenails into the floor, lengthening through the feet. While you're pulling the elbows back and letting the chest move forward, try not to exaggerate by lifting your chin, because if you talked, it would sound like this, right? So keep it in a neutral position. It's not dropped, it's not overlifted. I'm just feeling that it's in the same arc of my back. So actively pulling back, opening chest. Conscious breathing into the ribs, the rib cage. And back to the windshield wipers. Lower down, stack the hands under the forehead, and let the legs rock as they're bent. Keep the conscious breathing, the meditation on the breath, awareness on the breath. And then into tabletop. Put my hair clip back in. In tabletop, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Look at your hands. See that they're as even as they can be. So you're spreading through the fingers. Your index, first fingers are relatively parallel to each other. Any padding underneath for this position, a blanket under the knees, for instance. And then rounding and arching. Exhaling as you curl your spine and drop your head. Inhaling as you arch and open your chest and open to the sitting bones. Exhaling as you push away. Keep exhaling until you can't find any more breath in there. And inhaling as you open it up. Let's try it one more time, and then we're going to add a breathing technique. All right, now just sit comfortably for a moment. This is going to be inhaling, and then exhaling, you're going to count from 1 to 10, as many 1 to 10s as you can on your exhale until there's no sound left, there's no breath left. You might not even get to 10 on your exhale, but every time we do it, you might notice you can get a few more counts in. And I'll show you first. If you've done it before, you can just do it with me. By inhaling, arching. And here's my exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. And inhale. Okay, so it's not a competition. Give it a try. We'll do 3 repetitions or so. Inhaling on the arch. And then as you're exhaling and rounding, you're counting out loud, 1 to 10. And then another 1 to 10, or however many 1 to 10s, however many until there's no sound left. You still can count. And then there's no breath left. And then you take your next inhale and you repeat it 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time, whenever you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it feels good after that one, child's pose. If that does not feel good for your knees, flip it onto your back. So child's pose is fine, or flip it onto your back and then just draw the knees in. You can hold the thighs or the shins. You can even rock a little bit on your back here. Okay, otherwise child's pose. Again, patting underneath the knees, behind the knees. Okay. Now, for a seated position, a couple options. One, if you're tight in the back, a few things you can do. One is just go ahead and maybe use a wall for your back. Another is to have a blanket, a cushion underneath you, so that when you're seated on it, it feels a little bit like you're falling off of it. And that way my knees are lower than my hips and everybody's happy. Okay, so I'm nicely settled here. I have the ability to shift my pelvis, to move. I'm not falling. If let's say you're sitting back here and your knees are up and you're falling back, this becomes a huge amount of stress on the back. If you're fine here, then you're there, okay? So let's say that you're either on a prop or let's say you're against the wall. All right. And so in this position, we're just going to turn the head right and turn the head left. And of course, with the breathing, on my inhale, turn my head one direction, and exhale the other direction. And just one more time to the left and right. And center. Drop the chin towards the chest, but instead of falling in the chest, lift your chest towards your chin. So the chin went to the chest. The chest also went to the chin. Hold it here and breathe. And inhale, bringing the head up. Okay, let's take I'm going to put my left forearm on my head. You can also put your fingertips on your shoulder if that's too much for the shoulder joint to be up here. Okay, either way is fine. So I have my left one, but you can do your right one as well, doesn't matter. We're going to then side bend. Right? So my left arm is up, I'm side bending to the right. While I'm here, I can rub the left side, which is getting stretched. I can pat, which is good for the nervous system and the lymph and all sorts of things. Okay. Up and down from the waist to the shoulder or the armpit, or rubbing. So bringing attention. Even just a hand there that says, breathe into me. And then lift it up. Now before we do the other side, just release that arm. This will be a little trickier at the wall, but not impossible. Rotate to the left. So if my left arm was up, I twist to the left. And center. Now, exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, forward. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, forward. One more each side, twist. Exhale, twist. Okay, so my right arm was above for the side stretch. My left arm was, so now it'll be my right arm. So change that as depending on which side you were on. Fingertips can be on the shoulder as we side stretch, so it's a little more gentle in the shoulder joint. If the arm is up, it's just sitting on the head. Okay, your side stretching then, so right arm is up, left body leaning, and I can rub this right side. I can pat from top to bottom on the waist. I can put my hand just there on the ribs and try to breathe into it. This right hip is down on the floor. And inhale, upright. As you let it go, we twist to the same side. So then that's my right side. And center. Left. And center. One more each side. And twist. Good. Now from here, we can, if you're seated up, you can stay there. If you're against the wall, go ahead and move a little away from the wall. So I would recommend getting up on some height. If moving away from the wall kind of destabilizes your position. So a little round. So I'm letting this curl. And then inhale like a little string picking up my sternum, my chest bone, it lifts it up. I don't want to drop my head really far back. I'm just gazing up with the chest opening. You could even put a hand on your chest if that helps. And feel as you exhale and round, it goes in to the body. And then inhale into the hand, open it to the sky. Exhale, it rounds in. Even hand on the solar plexus, the belt above the navel, to feel that curl. And inhale to feel it open. 2 more times. Good. And back to the center. One more time on just the head rotation, left and right. And it can be an inhale, twist to one side, and exhale to the other side. One more time each direction. Good. And through the center. Okay, if you're on a lift, take it away. Let's go ahead and come back onto our backs. And once we're back down, let's take a twist. So now, if we're going to drop our knees to the right stacked, you might find that it is beneficial to have a block, a blanket, a pillow underneath the knees so it's not such an intense twist. Okay, that's an option. And so if we're in the center, knees bent, feet on the floor, we're going to scoot our hips to the left, a little off center. Knees in, drop them to the right. Now, I want to twist left arm open. So here's where I might need a lift under my knees. Because if I want to get my left shoulder closer to the floor without stressing the shoulder, I have to lift my knees a little so the twist isn't pulling me towards the knees and compromising the shoulder. Okay, so shoulder blade down. My right foot is touching the ground, but my knees are lifted so they can be truly stacked, one knee on top of the other. I can feel that with my right hand at the kneecaps, that they are truly stacked. It's another reason why having a lift underneath you is good. Now I'm just holding them, but I don't have to do that. I could just fill the space and then, hey, that's like so much more comfortable. Okay, so we'll stay in the twist for just a few more moments, and the things that here are important is that our knees are stacked, so our hips are both moving in the twist. It's more of a spinal twist. And that left shoulder blade is on the floor. Now my arm is in a cactus bent position, mostly because I'm out of room with the wall. Your arm could be straight out, but this is also kind of nice on the shoulder. So now focus on your breathing in the right, in the left, rib cage. Feel the breath enter and exit through both sides. You might feel the top side more, but can we find the lower side? Where's your head? You can look straight up, you can turn and look to the left. So a few more nice, fluid, smooth breaths here. 3 to 4 counts as you breathe in, same as you breathe out. Okie dokie. The whole thing gets turned to the other side. So you might have found that was useful with a prop. Make it work for the other side. So if I'm in the middle, I'm going to scoot my hips off center to the right and drop my knees over to the left. Right arm, we're rotating open. Again, cactus works or a straight arm. I'm going to help getting that leg across a little more. So how much lift you need under your knees is how much this shoulder needs to be supported. Okay, so I might need these knees higher to get this shoulder more down. So I want to keep my knees stacked. My free left hand is right next to the kneecaps, kind of tracking them, that this one doesn't slide away, it stays over. And then left and right rib cage, getting the breath. So count your inhales and exhales. And you inhale for anywhere between 2 to 4 counts and exhale the same length. And you find that underside with your breath. And go ahead and unwind it. All right. And from here, as we are reaching our end point on time, let's just take a moment to slide the legs out. And of course, again, I'm not giving you a lot of props to work with on this sequence, but you can support underneath your knees, maybe just a small lift under the head, Shavasana, rolling the shoulders under. And if for these last few moments you would prefer to invert a little bit here at the wall, or even easier at a chair with your legs draped over the chair, but if you do the pose here, Viparita Karani, the legs up the wall, you can take this pose as well. Let's give ourselves a couple of minutes to breathe and relax. And just continuing in this position that you're in for just a little while longer. Looking for ease in your breath. If you focus a little more with your breathing, you give your mind something to do so that you can not get lost in thought or in dreaming. Taking your time from your position. If you want to continue to rest, just go ahead and do that. The video will just end. And if you would like to take your time to sit up, remembering that sitting up means rolling to your side, resting on your side in the fetal position so that you're not dizzy, and so your neck feels supported. And then from your side, pushing yourself up, kind of like you're dragging yourself out of bed. And if you'd like to come to a seated position that's comfortable for you, even if that's in a chair, and take as long as you like. But we'll just take a moment of closure, thanking yourself for your practice, for your presence, and for your openness. Namaste and thank you.